Hello students, good evening to all. So I am Padmini. So today we are going to learn a poem from your English book Behind, that is The Road Not Taken. The Road Not Taken, it is written by Robert Frost. So in this poem, The Road Not Taken, the road symbolizes our life. The poet says that the path that we do not choose in our life is the road not taken. So in simply you can say, the path or the road which we have not chosen in our life, that is only the road not taken. So he describes, the poet describes here his feelings about the choice that he had left in the past. The path which we have chosen decides our future, our destination. So the important message the poet wants to give is that the choice that we make has an impact in our future. And if we make a wrong decision or wrong choice, we regret it, but we cannot go back on it. So we must be wise while taking choices in our life, because this is our life. So my dear class, we are going to discuss this poem stanza wise. So let us discuss stanza 1. Okay. Two roads diverge in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood, and looked down one age for age I could, and to where it went in the undergrowth. So in this first stanza, we get many difficult words. So first let us discuss the meaning of the difficult words. So diverged. Diverged means separated and took a different direction. That is diverged. Then yellowwood. Yellowwood, especially we find in the month of autumn. A forest with decomposing leaves, means yellow leaves. Then undergrowth. Undergrowth means dense growth of plants and bushes, means the forest. Undergrowth means the forest, where dense growth of plants and bushes. So in the first stanza, the poet was walking down a forest, a road, and then there was a diversion. There were two different paths, and he had to choose one out of them. The poet says that as he was one person, he was an individual, he could not travel on both the roads. He could not travel on both the roads. He could travel only one path or only one road. But he has to choose any one out of these two routes. So yellowwood means a forest with leaves which are wearing out, and they have turned yellow in color. And it shows thus the season of autumn. So it represents a world which is full of people, where people have been living for many years. They represent people who are older, and then the poet. The poet kept standing on that road, and he was going on thinking that which route he must take, which route he must choose in his life, where people have been living for many years. The poet kept standing there and looked at the path, means very carefully, edge for edge he could see. Before taking the path, he wanted to know how it was. Was it suitable for him to go or not? He was able to see the path till from where it curved. After, it was hidden. He was not able to see. It was covered with the trees and was hidden. It happens in our life also. When we have choices, we have alternatives, but we have to choose only one out of them. We take time to think about the pros and cons, your advantage and disadvantage. whether it is suitable for us or not. And only then we take a decision and what path we should choose in our life. So as we know that opportunity knocks once at our door and we have to choose at the earliest. We have to choose first and which is the correct path for our life. So let us discuss the second stanza of your book. They took the other just as fair and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though age for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. So in this second stanza, we get many difficult words like fair. Fair, the meaning is here, as good as the other one. Then claim. Claim means better option here. Then grassy. Grassy means here it is unused. And wanted beer means had not been used for a long time. So in the second stanza, the poet kept on looking at one path for a long time to check whether it is the right path for him or not. And then he decided and started walking on another path because he felt that the both paths were equally good. First he felt, what he felt? He felt that both paths were equally good. He says, just age fair, so he felt that both paths were equally good and started walking on one of them. He adds that maybe he felt that the path was better for him. So he chooses it as it had grasses on it. Okay, which means that it was unused. Not many people had walked on this path. That is why this path was grassy and wanted beer. Means it was not used or was not walked by many people or over by many people. After he walked on the path for some distance, he realized. What he realized? He realized that both the paths had been worn out the same way. Both the paths were similar and worn out. Even in our life, we take many paths or options, but all of them have the same benefits, disadvantages, problems, challenges, and we must face them. We think that we are choosing a better option, but it is not that way. So let us go with the third stanza of your book. Okay? And both that morning equally lay, and leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. So in this stanza, we get a difficult word that is trodden. Trodden means walked over. That is trodden. Okay. In the third stanza, the poet says that both the paths or ways or roads were similar. That morning, both had leaves on them and no one had stepped on them as they were still green in color. He decided that day he would take one path and keep the other path for another day. Although he knew that one way leads on to the another way, he knew that he could not go back on the choice that he had already made in his life. Similarly, in our life, once we choose an option, we must keep on moving ahead with that options. And we never get a chance to come back again and take the other option that we had left earlier in our life. The same, the poet has already chosen a way. He cannot come back, and he cannot change the another way or another path in his life. Similarly in our life also. Once we choose an option means we must keep on going and going ahead, and will not get a chance to come back again. Next, your stanza 4 on the board. Okay? I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere as and as. Hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by. And that has made all the difference. And that has made all the difference. So in this fourth stanza, sigh. Sigh means what? That is deep breath. Sigh means deep breath. Or we can say disappointed with his decisions. Here, if we mean that the poet was disappointed with his decisions. Hence means in the future. So in this fourth stanza, he says that in the future, he will take a deep breath and say that once upon a time, he had reached such a point in life that there were two options for him, and he travelled on that road which had been travelled upon by lesser number of the people. The decision of his decided his future. The decided his future. Similarly, in future, when you grow up, then you will say that once upon a time, when you were a young boy, had two options or many options. The choice that you made what you become of it. This is a very strong message for all the students, for everyone, that you should be wise and be careful while making choices out of the options that you have in your life. Because the most important thing, your future, depends on the choices that you make today. So, as well as the writer, as well as the poet said here, that your choices depends upon your future, what you become in your future. So, my dear students, your future, your decision that makes, or your future depends on the choices that you make today. Got it? My dear students, in this poem, Robert Frost, the poet, he has used some figures of speech, like your symbolism, your anaphora, your alliteration, and repetitions. So symbolism means two roads which represents two or more choices in your life. Next, that is anaphora. Anaphora and repeated at the beginning of the lines, like 2, 3 and 4 lines. Okay. The next, that is alliteration. Alliteration means wanted beer. Here W sound is repeating, like first for, P sound is repeating, though, that, TH sound is repeating. Then next, that is repetition. Edges is repeated. Two roads diverge in a wood. This sentence is repeated in stanzas 1 and as well as in 4. Okay. So what is the theme and central idea of the poem, The Road Not Taken? So the road not taken deals with the dilemmas the man faces in life. The two roads serve as a metaphor for the choices we make in life. Life throws up many alternatives. Man, being an individual, cannot take up all the choices. The choice we make that has a far-reaching consequences. Hence, our decision is a shot in the dark, though our future is dependent on it. If the choices made by us happen to be not correct, We have to face the consequences as steps once taken cannot be retracted. So the road. The road is the symbol of the choice made by us in life. Many times we regret the choice made by us. But what is done once cannot be undone. Man yearns for what he has denied himself in life rather than what he has chosen. Hence, the poet has given his poem the title, The Road Not Taken. So next, the message of the poem. So Robert Frost. This Robert Frost poem, The Road Not Taken, deals with the complexities of life. Life and its ways are never woven in a straight line. In simple way we can say, life and its ways are never woven in a straight line. Life provides us many options. The wave of life consists of many paths and subways also. Naturally, these complexities of life confuse a person. Out of many options and alternatives, we have to choose only one. We can say only a judicious choice makes us reach our destination. But most of the people choose the less risky path and oft-trodden way of life also we can say. They don't want to take any kind of risk in their life. So only a few persons, like the poet, dare to change means choose a different path of life. So they are bold enough to face all the risks and challenges which comes across in our life. One has to make a choice. His success or his failure in life depends upon his choice only. So the poet chose a different path. Popular fame and fortune are sacrificed in favor of art, literature and poetry. Nobody knows what he would have glanced had he followed the least risky and safe path of life. Yes? So my dear class, my dear students, so at last I want to tell you that the poet Robert Frost conveys a very important message in this poem, that he tells us that man comes across many situations in their life when he has to take a decision which sometimes can be crucial. But we must make the right choice by keeping in mind that opportunity knocks only once at our door. Okay? So I hope, my dear students, you have understood this poem. Thank you.